can't wait to see this one.
Of all the superstars on the roster, this guy is amongst the hardest working. That goes without saying.
Definitely shout out to Don Chaos. We know you got our back, and we got your back too, man. Denver, Colorado all day, brother. We're definitely going to hook up with you. Much love to Carnival Spirits for putting us on as well on this YouTube, man.
Shout out to you, Don Chaos, for, what is this episode, like 126 or something like that?
Yes, sir.
You've been putting in work, bro. Respect. Y'all doing some shit for the community and the fam out there. Appreciate it. So just keep doing what y'all doing, you know what I mean?
Congrats to Don Chaos for 1,000 subscribers. Whoop, whoop.
Keep it going, man.
Congratulations, Don Chaos. Yes, keep it going, man. Good luck to you, fucking Don Chaos. And fucking hell yeah on your 1,000 fucking followers.
You know who it is. It's Ouija Mac, bitch. Shout out to Carnival Spirits. And fucking shout out to Don Chaos one time. You know what's going on.
This is my brother. Everyone, Don Chaos and Brother Lynch Hung here.
Yeah, and Carnival Spirits, what's up, man? Don Chaos, what's up? It's your boy Brother Lynch Hung. We out here tonight. Let's go.
Fuego Flames and my nigga Don Chaos. What's going on, B? It's my brother right here. It's my boy. Excuse the left, excuse the left.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is Don Chaos, and I'm with a very legendary man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Hey, Sean. Yeah, we at the gathering, y'all.
Radio show of the year. This one's always controversial. Coming in number one, we got Hours of Chaos with Don Chaos. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, there. Congratulations, man. Don Chaos, Hours of Chaos.
Yo, 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 yo. What is good, everyone? Y'all already know who this is. This is Mr. D to the O to the N to the C to the H to the A to the O to the S, your friendly neighborhood JUGGALO, the Karma Millionaire. If you don't know, now you know. If you still don't know, chat, let him hear. And if you still don't know, now you know what the fuck going on, Terry. So, yeah. So what is up, everyone in the chat? At one point, I saw that we had 17 people in here. So what is up to everyone? Lady Chaos in the chat, Shippa, Relic, Woody in the chat, Illegal in the chat. So many people in the chat. What is up, Twisted Shady? So yeah, hopefully everyone is doing good, you know. Hopefully everyone's doing good. But yeah, hopefully everyone's doing good. You know, it's a nice Thursday, you know. Lady Chaos is going to join us after the show. Well, she's going to join us for when we talk about like the topics on the show and whatnot. So yeah, for those of you who know that Lady Chaos is in the hospital, so just leave her with your thoughts and prayers and whatnot. Yep, she totally is the one that does make the show. She definitely does. Oh, yeah. And yeah. We are going to get into the meat and the potatoes. So please welcome for the first time to the Hours of Chaos podcast. Please welcome Brigid. What's up?
What up, Don? How are you, my man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing good. How's life? You still out in Colorado?
Nope, I'm living in Florida now.
Oh, Florida. Nice.
Yep, that's a total big change.
Definitely a lot warmer.
Yep, I can't complain.
Probably a lot more like humid too, eh?
I mean, in the winter and fall, yes, but once it hits winter and fall, it's nice because you can actually sleep with the windows open at night, which is good.
Oh, I bet. Hell yeah, that's dope, man. It's good to see you. Oh no, I'm glitching.
Hell yeah. So what you been up to?
Man, a lot. I've been up to a lot, man. Fuck, I don't even know where to start, but yeah, basically just getting ready for the gathering and preparing for all that I've got going on there and working on some music and yeah, doing the mom thing.
Yep, doing the life thing basically.
Yep, paying bills, you know, hustle and grind, day to day bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew, but like just last year I found out that I had degenerative disc disease.
No, I wasn't aware. What's that?
It's like a very bad, very bad backaches that you get like in your back from like sometimes working too much or heavy lifting a lot.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Was it from work or what?
Yes.
Damn. So, what's going on with that?
Right now, I can't really work, so I just gotta wait for just disability to come in, and it sucks basically because now I just gotta, where I can't stand or sit too long, I literally have to have a cane just for support now.
Damn. Well, at least a cane looks pretty badass.
It does. People have been telling me that, like, to make me feel better. They're like, you actually look more like a pimp. I'm like, well, thank you.
Yeah. No, and it's not to make you feel better. That shit's legit. It's dope. You can bling that bitch out.
Or as Frankie said, he's like, see, y'all, this is a proof that Don Chaos holds the underground and the community on his back and shoulders.
Honestly, you know, that is valid, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to everyone in the chat, by the way. Much love to everybody that's popping in. I'm really excited to be on the show. Thank you so much for having me.
Hell yeah. You could say it was finally in the moon or in the stars for you to be on. We've been talking about you coming on the show for a while.
Yeah, I think probably since like 2021, we first, you know, like brought it about when I went on the Beastmaster show. We're like, yo, we should do that. And I'm glad that it's finally happening.
Hell yeah. So like for those that don't know, you know the show, you just give a brief introduction, who you are, where you're from, and then yeah, we will like to ask like with the questions.
Cool. Yeah, so my name is Brigid Bites. I I come from the Midwest, just a young jug, from Iowa, and I came up in the juggalo scene, and I've been juggling since 2003, 2004. 2004 was my first show. The Hell's Pit tour in Des Moines, Iowa was my first show. I've just been rocking with the fam ever since. I went to my first gathering the next year in 2005. And this year will be my 18th consecutive year going to the gathering. Thank the carnival. I feel so blessed to be able to say that. And it's a big part of my life. And let's see, what else? I am a mom. I was living in Denver, Colorado, which is where we met the first time when, I was at the Roxy, I think. We finally got a chance to meet.
Yeah, it was at the Ouija Death by Denver shows that he did.
Yes, Death by Denver. Fuck yeah, that shit was so tight. So yeah, we met at that show, but I was living in Denver, and I ended up moving back home to Iowa. So that was something that happened since you and I last spoke. It's nice being back home, because it's a little easier to raise a kid here than it is in the city. So I've been enjoying it. I do miss Denver a lot sometimes, for obvious reasons, but it's cool. I'm chilling.
And also, all about Denver shows. We get crazy at Denver shows.
Oh man, I miss the Roxy so much. We did get wild and crazy in them fucking shits, man. So yeah, in 2017, I established the Juggalo burlesque troupe known as Juggalesque, and we performed our first burlesque show, which was the first show of its kind at the gathering, and that went off really well. And we've been doing shows every year pretty much since. We did New Orleans. We performed at a show with Informed Juggalos at the House of Blues. Fearless Fred Fury release party. That shit was tight as fuck. And then we have performed at multiple gatherings, and it's been really amazing just working with some awesome women and being able to create and give back to the Juggalo scene in that way. So that was kind of the thing that brought me, I guess, more into like the Juggalo spotlight or public kind of recognition, because I was pushing hard for it. Like, I fucking love that shit. I love what we do. And so I've been loud and proud and promoting and just going all out for Juggalesque. And it's paid off. It's been wonderful. I'm so grateful. And then, yeah, I guess fast forward a few years, I am in a place now where I can follow a dream that I've always had, which is making music. And this year I have started making music. I just dropped my very first EP called Hatchet Girl, and that's on all streaming platforms right now. And that was such a big deal to me. Like, that was such a major accomplishment. And yeah, like, we can definitely talk more about that, but that brings us to today, man. I mean, what more can I say?
Yeah, so you've been just like putting in that grind like really hard, and I've always like been telling everyone that hard work does pay off. Don't ever think it doesn't.
For real. Consistency is key, and one thing about me is I always show up. You know what I mean? I might not have all the money, I might not have a lot of resources or, like clout, but people know that I show up. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be somewhere. And every year that we've done Juggalesque, don't think that Jump Steady don't have me on all kinds of ninja missions on the side too. I got all kinds of stuff that I got to do to give back to be able to put on that show. And I love doing it. You know what I mean? Like, that's my shit. I love putting in work for the community because it brings me satisfaction. And I love giving back to the Juggalo scene because, like, it's my whole life, bro. It's my whole life. And I, whatever I can give back, I want to give back. So
yeah, that's pretty much like how I am. That's why, in the community, that I'm known as like the Karma Millionaire, because I just give back and I ask for nothing else in return.
100%, man. 100%. Karma Millionaire shit.
Yep, and that's why I tell everyone, if you all spread that good karma, y'all are Karma Millionaires too.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you can do, even if it's just bringing good vibes and your heart and soul into the community, that's enough. Just be a good person, man. That's all we ask. But putting in work for the carnival will repay you. And I have been so blessed with such amazing connections and friends and experiences and seeing beautiful places and doing things that I would have never done if I wasn't a juggalo. So I fucking love this shit.
Exactly. And when you start to get like recognition from your peers, you and me can both explain that it's one of the greatest feelings in the world. Like when the people you look up to start giving you props, it feels good.
Yeah, man. And it kind of like every now and then is just a pat on the back makes you more motivated to keep going, at least for me. It's like, cool, like I don't need that, but it does feel good in my heart of hearts to know that people take notice and to notice that people care and give a shit. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears that go into that shit. So,
oh yeah,
for real. And thank you, Don, for being so consistent and for being, who you are. It matters. It matters a lot.
Well, and that's why I've always told people, like, the same person, anyone that has met me personally knows I'm the same person on here as off camera. I'm not playing a character. I'm just being myself. That's all I've ever known.
Sure. No, for real. Like, you've always been, you've always been solid. You've always been Don Chaos, motherfucker. So I'm super stoked to be on tonight.
Yeah, and like, when Ouija has like pulled me to the side and given me like major props, he doesn't do that to a lot of people. He's like, bro, I appreciate you. And he just gave me the biggest hug and I almost broke down. I'm like, damn, I did not expect that.
Oh, love him. That's awesome.
So a lot of people don't know you actually participate in Ouija's like stage show, especially at the gathering. And that's awesome.
I have been blessed to do that 2 times now. And it's been fantastic. It's just so cool. So cool. So blessed and grateful that he has invited me to do that. That it means a lot. Because I've always been a big Ouija fan. Since I found out about him, I have and I've been going hard, I fucking tell people about that shit because I love his music. I always have. And so for him to invite me to do that, it was like a dream come true, man.
Oh yeah, that was like when I got invited to be like a part of his promo team. It like felt good.
Right, I bet. It's like I would do anything to be able to give back to his like whatever the fuck he's doing. You know what I mean? Because I really dig his music. I dig what he's brought to the culture. I love that he's keeping everything alive. He brings people together, and yeah, I'm big fan. So anything for Ouija Mac.
Hell yeah, that's one thing I like is that he's like brought back like mysterious stuff to his music. Like I tell people, it's just like ICP. If you dig deep, besides some of his crazy zany stuff, he does talk about real personal stuff or battles with like mental, like awareness and stuff or mental problems. Like he gets very deep. Like people don't know that.
No, if you listen, man, I mean, it does. It goes deep. And that's what I love about ICP. And that's what has drawn me into Ouija Mac's music and kept me coming back for more every time. I love listening to that shit. I love finding the deeper meanings. Obviously, I love the fucking ratchetness and wilding out shit too. But I feel like there's a really good balance, and I relate to a lot of his music, and that's why I love ICPs, because it's relatable to me and it makes me happy and it makes me feel good and it makes me smile. So
Exactly, and people forget he was a juggalo in the crowd just like us. Like before he was doing music, he was in the crowd just like us, going to shows.
Absolutely, he's been down, and you can tell by his music. That's why I dug his music from the beginning, because I'm like, this dude is a real juggalo. Like, you could just tell, and that was lacking. And I feel like a lot of other artists at the time, that wasn't getting that like real juggalo vibe. And so when I first heard his music and really started listening, and kind of like going down the rabbit hole, I was just so excited, because I'm like, finally, like a real fucking juggalo is making some fire ass shit. So
exactly, and he's like brought that whole cool thing like with his elemental releases, and it reminds you of like the Joker cards back in the day.
yes, no, my little witchy heart loves the elements. Trust me, like, I'm all about it.
Oh yeah, I understand where he got that from too, and it makes me proud. He's a moon child just like us, so I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I self-identify as a moon child too.
I love that. I'm a moon child. I like that.
Oh yeah, I always tell people if I had a spiritual animal, it would definitely be a wolf.
Ooh, I like that too, for sure. Spirit animal. I can see that. I can see you being a wolf man.
But you never know what happens on a full moon.
No. And I guess I would say that I could be like a rabbit. Like, I feel like a rabbit is a good spirit animal for me, and they are also connected with the moon. I don't know if you know that, but rabbits and moons are. Yeah. So I can get down with some spirit animal shit.
Yeah, and that's why I've always told people I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. There's like two different things.
Yeah, big same.
And I think that's why when people always ask me if I preferred Lotus or Ridas, I always prefer Lotus, because Lotus touches on that spiritual cultic shit.
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought that up. But I was always growing up, I was more of a Lotus person myself. I actually have a Lotus cross tattooed on my back, and that was my first tattoo, because I really vibe with Dark Lotus. That was some shit. I don't really bump it anymore, but.
But especially that first Dark Lotus, the original one with the red cross, that one, in my opinion, is like a psychopathic classic.
Yeah, Tales from the Lotus Pod all day, man. Like,
yeah,
it resonated on a different level. As a young juggalo, I really loved the other shit, the clowny shit, of course, and like standard ICP, if you will. But Dark Lotus brought something a little bit deeper, a little bit darker, a little bit more serious, and I liked that a lot. So I love Ridas too. Don't get me wrong. I was always down with Ridas, but OG Lotus has a special place in my heart as well.
So hell yeah, I guess we'll ask you, like, how did you discover ICP, and what was like the first song you remember that like grasped your attention?
I love this. Yes, I love telling this story. So the first time I ever heard ICP, I was riding in my stepbrother's vehicle. We were just going into town. When I was staying with my dad for a while, he was living in this small ass town, and we would have to like drive into town to go in to get anything, like, because it didn't even have a grocery store, right? So we would have to drive into town, and I was going into town with my stepbrother, and he was playing Riddle Box. Now, he wasn't really a juggalo. He just like had the CD. It was like kind of popular at the time, and he thought it was funny and he liked it. So he was playing it, and the first song I ever heard was Toy Box, and immediately I just loved it. Like, I was kind of like addicted right away. But what really drew me in about it was, for one, the cartoony vibe. I've always been a big fan of cartoons, and there's a very like cartoony vibe to that song with the sound effects and etc. And then also the message. Like, there's a very clear message in that song with like, don't fuck with the nerdy kid in class or he's gonna fucking kill you. I fucking love that shit. I was like, yes, because that was me. I was the nerdy kid in class. So and just the whole vibe of the track. That's still one of my favorite songs to this day, Toy Box. But eventually I like borrowed the CD so many times from him and like took it out of his CD case and just like kept bumping it over and over that he eventually gave it to me because he was like, I don't even really like this. It's not my shit, so you can have it. So I got that. And then a friend of mine gave me The Great Malenko, and it was like a burned copy of Malenko. And so then I went down that rabbit hole and I fell in love with that album. And then I went on LimeWire, which was like a thing, Napster, LimeWire. It was like just kind of coming out.
Yeah, I
And
remember that.
Yeah, and I downloaded everything I possibly could find about, Twisted, ICP, like everything that I could find. And, then I think the very first album I ever bought, because like I bought a couple albums that had already dropped. I bought Hatchet History. I bought like a couple more. And then, but the first on date album that I bought was Hell's Pit. So I was like anxiously awaiting Hell's Pit to drop. I was so stoked, you know what I mean? And then that was the first bought on CD, bought on release date CD that I ever copped. So that's kind of like where it all started, man.
Oh yeah, I remember those days of buying an album the day it came out, and then me and my friends would have our own little record release parties at someone's house.
Oh shit, that's dope.
Yeah, we'd have our own parties or release parties, and then someone would just get a whole bunch of Faygo for our crew.
Yes, that's dope. Yeah, that came later. That kind of stuff came later for me, once I started meeting more juggalos and being brave enough to kind of put myself out there as one. Back then it was a very niche thing, and it was something that I held on a pedestal, as a respect thing. Ooh, I don't know if I can call myself a juggalette. I don't know if I can call myself a juggalo. I don't know if I'm down enough, but of course, eventually I met people and, started going hard. So, Hell's Pit era, though, that is such a big era for me as a young juggalo coming up. First CD, first show, first gathering, fucking Hell's Pit, man.
Oh yeah, and what was actually some of the first music that you remember getting into younger? For me, I heard a lot of classic rock and metal in my household, Black Sabbath. I grew up listening to the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and all that. Paul McCartney, John Lennon, all that.
Yeah, no, my upbringing was slightly different. My mom was very into hair bands. So she was very much into fucking Whitesnake, Kiss. My mom was in the Kiss army. She loves to brag that she was one of the first people in the Kiss army. And she loved Poison. She loved Meatloaf. She loved all kinds of shit like that, basically. Any kind of big hair band from the 80s, my mom was pretty much about it. And then also, weird niche things here and there she also was into. And then my dad was classic rock and Queen. My dad was the biggest Queen fan you have ever met in your entire life. I knew every Queen song probably by the time I was 6. So
oh yeah,
that was
I love Queen.
I love Queen too. I will always love Freddie Mercury and Queen. And my first favorite song ever, I had a favorite song, and when I was little, and my first favorite song was Collective Soul Shine, which was, Collective Soul didn't have a whole lot of hits. It was kind of a 90s, I think they were a Christian rock band, but that song Shine, I mean, that shit still hits to this day.
Oh yeah, I was always growing up, and then when I started discovering my own music, I'll lean more towards the rock and Manson, Korn, Slipknot, and then I grew up listening to a lot of gangster rap.
Yes. Well, when I was really young, obviously Britney Spears Christina Aguilera, like all the girls, Pink coming up, like Spice Girls. Spice Girls were my fucking shit. Oh, loved them. TLC.
I love Spice Girls growing up. I still listen to them. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, they're fire. Yeah, but like TLC was big. Missy Elliott, like remember Brandy and Monica, and like any like sort of boy band or girl band. I also was a big NSYNC fan. I wasn't huge into Backstreet Boys. I'm not gonna talk shit, but like definitely down with NSYNC way more. And then as I got older into high school, I started getting more into nu metal, Incubus, Korn, Slipknot. I'm from Iowa, so obviously Slipknot's huge here. There's like no getting away from Slipknot. So I loved Slipknot, and then yeah, I kind of started getting into ICP and stuff. And I love like I loved Nelly and Usher and all that shit too growing up. But I love any kind of like good dance music. Like I love to dance. I've been a dancer since I was 4 years old, and like anything that I could dance to or anything that had a good beat, like really got me going.
Yeah, that's
like,
kind of how I am. Anything that can make me vibe out, I love. Like I tell people, when you hear Ouija, you can't just sit still. You have to vibe out to it.
100%. How can you sit still and listening to Ouija? I can't. And that's another thing. Devereaux's beats. I mean, I fell in love. Like that drew me in too, big time with Ouija's music. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Obviously, Devereaux is at the place where he is now for a reason, and I think that was such a breath of fresh air to me. Because like, as a dancer, trust me, as a juggalo, I want to fucking dance to their music. But sometimes it's difficult to dance to ICP. Sometimes it's difficult to dance to Dark Lotus, Twisted, and, you know, shit like that. I think, you know, there's some tracks, of course, but when Devereaux hit the scene, like, it changed the fucking game.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
So, yeah, like, I was really into all kinds of music growing up. I really loved certain tracks, you know, like Michael Jackson's Thriller was like one of my favorites. And I liked a lot of like 90s dance tunes, you know, like the shit that you would hear at the roller rink. You know what I'm saying? Like you go around the roller rink and they have like those certain songs playing. You know what I'm talking about? And that was my shit too. Yeah, you know, I love the roller rink.
You probably remember at the roller rink when they would play the Macarena there, and people had to try to do the Macarena on roller skates.
Uh-huh. That was me all day.
Yeah, or trying to do the chicken dance like on the roller skates.
Oh, that's fucking corny, but yeah, dude. Totally. No, but like, remember fucking, I can't even, of course I can't think of an example right now, but just like dope ass 90s dance music was my shit.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, dude. And
Just
another thing, my mom was really into Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi was a big part of my childhood too. Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah.
Sorry if I'm slow to respond. You keep glitching out a little bit.
Sure.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
What would be your Bon Jovi song if you had to pick?
Ooh. What would be my favorite Bon Jovi song? Right now? Oh, that's hard because I'm probably gonna change it up once I think about it for a little bit. But I want to say right now, Living on a Prayer. I feel like Living on a Prayer is pretty valid, and it's one that when it comes on, like, how do you not fucking sing that song?
Exactly. With me, it's either that or definitely my top one is Dead or Alive, where he goes, "I'm a cowboy."
Oh, okay, that's a good one too, for sure. On a steel horse I ride.
I know, and to this day, I still hear that song. I'm like, they totally missed the opportunity to put this on the show Sons of Anarchy, because that's like one of my favorite shows of all time.
Okay, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, for sure. Crazy.
But yeah, I grew up on a lot of like 80s, like old music, because that's like what my parents grew up listening to. Because we all listen to what our parents listen to. And of course, we branch out and go find our own thing.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Like Meatloaf was something that like my mom was obsessed with Meatloaf. And so I got pretty into his music for a while and stuff. But you know, you hit like 12, 13 years old and you really start to find and fine tune your taste and what you really like, and then also what your peers are listening to, and just kind of like what's popular in the world. Like TRL, of course, was like around back then. So I was like, I don't know about you, but I was like obsessed with TRL, and then I would always listen to the radio for like the top 10 shit. Like you would go and sit by like your little radio in your room, and like at a certain time every week they would do like the top 10 songs, and I always loved like tuning in for that kind of shit back then.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I remember specifically Blue by Eiffel 65 like blowing my mind at one point, and I heard that first on like a top 10 shit, you know, or just like a lot of the good shit. I remember just like Christina Aguilera and like Ricky Martin and like just like all those fire ass fucking early 2000s, late 90s artists that would kind of blow up on the radio and shit. You really learn what, not only do you like obviously what's popular at the time, and that becomes kind of what you like, but then you also pick and choose from that like what your shit is. And then like if you have a favorite song, you would like want that to be number one. I'm like, oh, this week my track's gonna be number one, I just know it. And then when it would be, you're like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Hell yeah. And what, explain to us like the little history of Juggalesque and how you came up with that idea and stuff.
Oh yeah, sure. So Juggalesque came about because, what can I say? I was really trying to, like, at the time I wanted to branch out creatively, and I wasn't feeling represented in the scene, if that makes sense. And I told you earlier, I've always been a dancer. And so I'm looking, you know, like, oh, how can I dance? You know, I want to dance. And like, I'm looking at my options, and nothing really vibed with me at the time. And I'm like, so how can I take, you know, what I love about being a juggalo and what I love about dancing and what I love about the feminine energy and the feminine spirit and bring it all together? And then I kind of found the art of burlesque. And when I fell down the burlesque rabbit hole, I became obsessed, like I do with stuff that I like. And immediately I was like, I have to do this for juggalos. Like, this needs to be a part of our world. This is so cool, so feminine, so creative. You can do anything with burlesque, anything. Like, the sky's the limit. You can go comedy, you can go political, you can go, serious. You can do just like raunchy and sexy and, you know, some bump and grind shit, or you can do like aerial and lycra and all kinds of like, there's just so many avenues you can go, so many characters you can be, so many journeys and stories that you can tell with the art of burlesque. And it's old. This is an art form that's been around forever. And I'm like, there is nothing like this. And I know some girls that might be down. And so I hit up my friends. You know, I made a list of people that I thought would be like down to maybe go in on this with me. And I sent them this message, you know, I like was vulnerable, and I was like, look, I want to do this. Like, would anybody be down? And sure enough, my girls were down, even the ones that had never stripped or done burlesque before. They were like, they just loved the idea. They also felt like they weren't really being represented or that there was more that they could bring to the table. And the idea just made us all so excited. And so we made it happen. And like the rest is history. It was just kind of a step by step thing. You know, I'm like, okay, you know, I made a logo for our troupe. I, you know, learned about the stage show. I learned about everything that goes into what, like, making a burlesque show happen. The history of it, you know, like I kind of just went deep, and me and the girls developed what is now Juggalesque. So that's kind of where it started, man. You know, just like me and some homegirls putting some shit on because we wanted to.
And that's why I've been saying for years, us juggalos, if we wanted to, we could just have our own country and our own society and not worry about anything else.
I think so too. I really do. Like, I have dreamed of that, to be honest. You know, juggalos are my family, and I don't really have other family. I've said that on other platforms before. I've said that in other places, but I'm not fronting. Y'all are it. So trust me, I would love Juggalo City, Juggalo Island, a Juggalo commune or community, anything like that. To be surrounded by the people I love and adore, absolutely.
Oh yeah, and anyone that has gone to the gathering, you can probably agree. Like whenever time people ask us, like, how is the feeling at the gathering? We always tell people it's hard to describe. You have to just be there.
Yeah. There's a I don't know. There's a vibe and an energy that is really unexplainable.
Yep.
There's a reason I have gone to 18 or 17 in a row, soon to be 18.
Hell yeah. Like, how was your first gathering? If you like remember, do you remember it like it was yesterday, like, and stuff?
It was magical. Yeah, I do remember like it was yesterday. It was the most amazing thing I had ever experienced, and everything I had hoped for it to be. Aside from, you know, a little bit of drama, but you know, that's to be expected. And 2005, there were no smartphones. That wasn't a thing. We learned about the gathering, where it was taking place and everything on the websites, on Fago Lovers, on ICP's website, on fucking whatever, word of mouth from the homies. And it was like this exclusive secret fucking club of fucking dope ass people. I couldn't wait to go. And I rode with my friend, Josh, who, or AKA Jay Blizzle. He is a friend of mine. He lives in Colorado now, actually, in Colorado Springs. We're still friends to this day, but I rode with him and like, I think his girlfriend, who was like 8 months pregnant, and then my, at the time, like, boyfriend, and we all packed in his tiny little ass whip, and we rode up there. And she was 8 months pregnant. I was sitting behind her, like, straight up like this in the car, just like this for 8 hours the whole way to the gathering. But we camped in the Loon District, which was in the woods. This was at Crystal Forest, is what we called it at the time. Beautiful place, absolutely stunning. Nelson Ledges quarry, whatever, in Ohio. And if you hadn't experienced a gathering there, it was just this gorgeous place. It's like a hippie spot that is just absolutely beautiful. And it was in the woods. It was dark. Like, I remember at night you had to have flashlights. Like, if you didn't bring a flashlight, you wouldn't be able to see where you were going in the woods and stuff. And back then, the artists, like, they were really just one of the juggalos. They did ride around on their golf carts, but they were kicking it, you know. They were really kicking it back then and hanging out with everybody. There was all kinds of like little side stages. Club Chaos was my shit. Like, I went to Club Chaos every single night and just wild the fuck out. Like, Young Brigid was a crazy girl, okay? And fucking the gathering was the perfect place for me to express my craziness. And I fucking went hard. I went all out. I got mad blisters on my feet. I remember ICP's set vividly. So I was obsessed with the Calm. Like Hell's Pit came out and I loved it, of course. And then the Calm came out and I loved it. Like I really loved it. And I know a lot of people hate on the Calm, but the Calm was my shit. And I clearly remember them playing songs from the Calm. And I didn't think they were going to, but they did. And I was like, yes. I don't even remember what they played. I want to say like Rolling Over maybe, or fuck, Crop Circles. I don't know. They played some jams though. And I lost my shit about that. I saw Mini Kiss. I saw fucking Tech Nine. You know, I was a huge Tech Nine fan back then. And so seeing Tech Nine there was great. Of course, I had never seen like Blaze, ABK, so I got to see them. Saw Twisted, saw like all kinds of shit, and then also the Underground Psychos contest was going on. So that's a big memory, of course. What else? 05. Oh, I danced. Was it 2005 or 06? Either my first or second gathering. It was my first. I danced on stage with Tech Nine at my first. He played a secret show in the middle of the night at a tent. Like he played main stage. Yeah, he played main stage, and then there was like rumors of like this secret show going down at one of the tents. And so like we showed up and it was fucking Tech Nine doing another set. And he had girls come on stage and dance, and I got to dance, and I was so excited. Like he even hugged me, I remember. And what else happened? Oh, Jamie Madrox yelled at me. I'll never forget that. We were standing in line for hot dogs, and he was right in front of me. And I'm like fucking 17 years old and shit. Like, oh, Jamie Madrox is standing in front of me. And I like it took all the courage in the world to say hi. All the courage in the world, Don, it took for me to speak up and say, hi, Madrox. How are you? Or whatever the fuck I said. This motherfucker turns around and he's like, can't I just get a motherfucking hot dog? I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And he was like, granted, it was hot as fuck, and I'm sure he was like sweaty and uncomfortable and already nervous. I didn't mean to bother him, but I still don't think it was necessary for him to yell at me. But I also remember Fago Lovers being there. I pulled up to the little Fago Lovers spot. I said hi. They were doing like a live radio podcast type shit. I stood in the autograph line and met ICP, and I cried because I was hungover and emotional, and it took like 4 hours to get to ICP. And so I finally got up there and I kind of just burst out in tears, and it was super embarrassing. And Violent J blamed Shaggy. He was like, Shaggy, you made her cry. And I was like, no, he didn't. I'm sorry. And I'm trying to think. I don't know. It was just good vibes back then. You know, it was an experience that was so monumental for me that I knew that like this is where I belong. You know, walking into those grounds and seeing just thousands of juggalos, hundreds, maybe thousands of juggalos on the walk-in with like wearing jerseys and shirts and bandanas and fucking rocking out with the trip pants, and you know, and hearing all these whoops everywhere. It was like so magical. Like I'm getting fucking goosebumps right now thinking about it. Like, and you know, it was like a mile from the car, from like the parking lot to the like campsite that I was at. And so literally just like walking that whole mile up to the campsite full of juggalos was so mind-blowing for my little juggalo brain that I was just hooked. I was hooked. And it still is that same like feeling and same vibes every year. It doesn't change.
Like, oh yeah, like you know, people always tell me, or they try to tell anyone, oh, the magic's gone. I'm like, no, it's not. The magic is still there.
Magic is everywhere. Magic is everywhere if you choose to see it. And at the gathering, it's fucking palpable. It's in the air. You can fucking taste that shit. It's everywhere between the fireworks and the fucking whoops and the homies and the fucking just everything. It's there's people who say that are not magical people. Is all I can say.
Exactly.
Like, sorry you can't fucking see that shit, man. That's sad for you.
Hell yeah. And what, like, if you had to pick, like, music in general, what are, like, your top 5 albums that, like, changed your life?
Ooh, good question. Top 5 albums that changed my life. Well, obviously, Hell's Pit, for one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, big deal. Riddlebox, Great Malenko. Those 3 big ones. Obviously, like, all the Joker's cards for sure. I also would like to say, like, Fearless Fred Fury is one to mention. Granted, that's a newer album, but it came out at a very perfect time in my life when I needed to fight back. You know what I'm saying? It
Same
came out
here.
when I needed. Really? I bet. The carnival works like that. But Fred Fury really is monumental to me. I would also say Ouija Mac's Pretty Ugly, the first one, was a big deal for me. It was a turning point. Dirtbag is another one. Ouija Mac's Dirtbag is very monumental to me.
Yeah, I love that release.
Me too. It was another one that just really came right on time for me. And yeah, I mean, I think that's 5, but I could go on.
Yeah, I've always said, like, when Ouija touches on a lot of personal stuff, I'm like, if Ouija would have been around 15 years ago, this probably would have been like the soundtrack to my life growing up.
Yeah, really, really. And it's been relevant for me as I've grown. The hard times haven't gone away. I'm sure you can relate, they just kind of shift and change. And music is always there for me. And music is something that is just so close to my heart. And when I love a kind of music or when I love an artist, I really fucking love that shit.
Exactly. And I've even told people music has literally saved my life. It's one of those things that if I didn't have music, I would like not be here. Like, I even told Tech9 when I finally got to meet him, I'm like, bro, your music has legit saved my life. And I told him, thank you. He's like, you're very welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking that. I would say Tech9 was another really big influence for me growing up. Like Angelic and Absolute Power, those 2 albums, I mean, I couldn't stop listening to them. I was so obsessed. I was so fucking obsessed. And then even Ever Ready, I saw the Ever Ready tour 9 times. I went to 9 of those shows.
That's awesome.
But no, I fucking loved Ever Ready, and like I can still turn on Ever Ready to this day. Like, I don't even really get down on Tech9 like that anymore. Maybe a little bit. I like some of his new stuff, but not a whole lot. And like, his stage show has gotten kind of stale for me, but I can go back and listen to those old records and it still brings up like the hyphy, it still brings up the adrenaline, and I can still rap some of those verses so fucking fast and so on point, like they never fucking left my brain. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking love me some old school Tech9.
Same here. Like, Ever Ready, I was like in like middle school or high school when that came out.
The Religion. Yes. Fuck. It gets me so fucking litty. Don't even get some alcohol in me and turn on Ever Ready. I'll be a fucking wild ass bitch.
Hell yeah. And then if you had to like pick, what are some of your like top favorite like foods that you can tell people, I may eat this, but I'm still going to eat it no matter what. Like, it's one of those foods you can never get tired of eating.
Foods. Salad. I know that's kind of strange, but I fucking love me some salad.
I do too.
Mexican food, tacos. My family owns and operates a Mexican American restaurant, and So I grew up on tacos, enchiladas, burritos, tostadas, you know, everything. So obviously that's a big major comfort food for me, and I could probably never get enough Mexican.
Same here. Especially being from Colorado. You know Colorado's got some of like the best Mexican restaurants.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me. Trust me. I fucking know. Miss that shit.
Like I tell everyone, you'll know you're in Colorado because we put green chili on everything.
Dude, no, even like they even have like vegan Mexican out there that's just so fire. Like, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, when me and the missus recently went to like a punk rock like flea market down here in Florida, there was like a vegan like hot dog stand, and it was the first time I ever tried a vegan dog, and it was actually really good. I never thought that curry would taste good on a brat. I was like, ooh.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever experienced that.
Yeah, that was my first time ever trying a vegan dog. I'm like, curry sauce on a hot dog? Okay, and it actually tasted really good.
Yeah, okay, all right. Maybe when I'm out there again, I'll have to look for that.
Yeah, it's like in St. Pete down here in Florida, and the name of the restaurant, it's called Nah Dog. That's really what it's called.
Nah Dog, cute.
Like when someone goes, nah, dog.
Love it.
See, even the missus is in the chat. She can confirm that. Tell me that doesn't sound good.
Okay, yeah, it does. Like, I would have never thought to put those two things together, but I would fuck with it. I would try it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love sushi also. That's like one of my other favorite foods.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously being vegan, sushi can be kind of boring. It's like avocado rolls and veggie rolls, and that's pretty much it. But I could get down on that for sure. Like, if I'm feeling in the mood, it's nice because it's fresh. I like fresh food.
Exactly. Like, have you ever had like buffalo like cauliflower?
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. I tried that too. Like, there's this movie theater I used to go to in Denver, and they had buffalo cauliflower there that you could eat at the theater.
Oh yeah, was it like the Alamo or something?
Yeah, and people were like, "What's buffalo cauliflower?" I'm like, "It's like buffalo wings, but instead of chicken wings, it's cauliflower."
Yeah, it's good. That's probably one of the first like vegan recipes I ever made and tried, and I fucking love that shit.
Yeah. There's actually some really good vegan food that I've tried. I've tried some really good vegan burgers. I've tried vegan tacos.
Yeah, you know, it's come a long way. I went vegan in 2013 and there was like nothing. Like there was nothing. And now, shit, you can get anything you can eat vegan.
Exactly.
So, I love that.
And I like because at fast food joints, because my sister, she can't have bread because she's gluten intolerant. Now, instead of like a bread bun, you can like just like wrap it in lettuce and eat it that way too.
That is true. I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah. No, there's so many like having dietary restrictions is way more of the norm now. But growing up in Iowa, becoming a vegan was crazy. Was kind of crazy. It was hard. Everybody said I was gonna die. Like everybody said I was gonna be like malnourished. They're like, you don't eat eggs, you don't eat butter, you don't eat chicken, you don't eat like what do you eat? And yeah, here I am, still kicking, still alive and functioning, fucking 10 years later. So
exactly. I tell people nothing's wrong with like changing up your diet every now and then.
It's not for everybody, but it's like I knew it was for me kind of thing. Like I wanted to be a vegetarian when I was younger, but you eat what your parents feed you. So when I started like really making my own choices and being brave enough to like try shit and like I feel like I tried like veggie nuggets. Like I had like veggie nuggets for the first time and I was like, all right, I could do it. I could be a vegetarian. And then I learned like a lot of things that were going on with my health were related to milk and dairy products. And as soon as I cut those out, all of these like things stopped happening, like eczema, stomach issues, acne, Like I had all kinds of stuff going on that like when I quit dairy, like went away. And I never really liked eggs.
So
Eggs
see,
weren't
it's a
really
good thing because some people have no choice to go vegan because when they're eating like meat and stuff, it makes them more sick. Like Ouija even said that. He's like, I had no choice because I was getting sick every time I was eating meat.
Yeah. Yeah, like it was like very much, you know, you're feeling like shit and then you have to like go down the line like what am I doing that I can change and what is going on, and you start doing research and you start experimenting with different things and you just find this shit out. Like I'm not one that's going to go around and say everybody should be vegan because like I don't fucking know what your body likes. I don't, you know what I mean? I just know what works for me and my body and what makes me feel good in my mind, body, and soul. Like it feels good for me to not eat animals or animal products. I like to. So I like
Exactly. And when you can change your diet, even with your loved one, that's really nice. Like me and the missus, we're actually both going to go on a cardiac diet. And I told her I'll go on that for her because heart problems run in my family. So that's a good reason for me, like to try to cut out salt completely out of my diet and stuff.
Yeah, I love that for you. And it's nice when you have a supportive partner or somebody that will do that with you, because then you can look for recipes together and it's kind of like a fun bonding moment.
Oh yeah. My missus, she knows how to cook. She like loves that Instant Pot that my mom got her for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, Instant Pots are dope.
She's like, now I just need a deep fryer, but one where it's not like super greasy.
Deep fryers. Yeah. Do you have an air fryer? I'm a big fan of air fryers.
Air fryer, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, those are fucking dope, man. I got one right there and I am obsessed with it. I fucking cook everything in that bitch.
Hell yeah.
So that's grease.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've been trying to cut out of my like diet too, is like a lot of greasy food and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. It's good for your heart.
But the one thing that's going to be hard is I got to like have sweets. Like my biggest weakness is sweets. I like have a major sweet tooth.
The sugar monster. It is. It's tough. It's tough. I'm working on the sugar thing myself.
But then again, I think have that thing where you have to have sugar. I forget what that's called.
Okay. Like you have like low glycemic or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's what I have.
I see. Yeah, it wasn't like, I was kind of lucky that my mom didn't let us have like pop growing up or like a lot of candy or sweets or sugar because I didn't really develop too much of a taste for it. But like, I mean, I guess compared to some people, you know what I mean? Like I've known people who eat so much sugar and drink so much pop, whereas for me, like my teeth hurt. Like it hurts my teeth if I eat too much sweets or sugar. It gives me a stomach ache and stuff, but I'm still noticing how much sugar is in everything. Like I actually stopped buying coffee creamer because there's just too much sugar in it. I'm just like I could literally just use some oat milk and like put a little bit of like sugar in it myself, and you know, a gram of you can't eat. It's like you can't put as much sugar in yourself as they put in packaged products, if that makes sense. Like they fucking shove that shit in there with the high fructose and stuff. So I'm learning as I go, but it's tough.
Oh yeah, when I was younger, I used to drink a lot of soda, and as I've gotten older, I only drink soda like once in a while. Like I'll reward myself with a soda every now and then.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of seltzer water. And like I'll treat myself to a Faygo here and there, but other than that, I don't really get down on pop.
Yeah, and when I do drink energy drinks, I try to stick to the ones that are good for you. And trust me, y'all, there are energy drinks that are healthy for you.
Yeah, there are some out there that, you know, they go above and beyond and try to make the ingredients really good. So definitely a vibe. I'm more of a coffee person for my caffeine intake. I love coffee, so
that's how I am. I'm like a coffee and a tea person.
Okay, for sure. I like a little bit of tea, but for iced tea, unsweetened. I don't like sweet tea. Mm-mm.
I see you in the acetone chat. I see you.
Acetone. Hey, babe. Sorry I couldn't respond to your text. I was already on.
Shouts to Acetone. We saw him at the Ouija Mac show here in Tampa.
That's my boy. Love me
Same
some
here.
acetone.
Yep, he just comes up and gives me like the biggest hug in the world.
Yes, he's great for hugs. He gives the best hugs for real.
Yeah, I get told that too, that I give the best hugs too.
Yes, quality hugs, Don Chaos. Indeed.
Yeah. That's actually funny because when me and the missus went to like this flea market punk rock place, there was this dude and he had a vest and it said hugs for a punk. It was adorable.
Oh, cute. I love hugs. I'm a big hugger.
Oh yeah, and one of the other questions we ask our guests is, what are like some of like your top favorite movies that you can never get tired of watching, like your favorite movies of all time?
Ooh, yeah. So House of a Thousand Corpses is a big one for me. They just had their 20th anniversary. I can't even believe it. But
God damn.
Yeah, dude, 20th. And when that movie came out, I was like so obsessed with it. I watched it over and over and over and over again. And like, I still like to this day, like I love all Rob Zombie films, but that one in particular is just so fresh to me. The characters, the colors, the way it was shot and filmed, like the whole thing is just so iconic. So I have to say that's got to be my favorite movie of all time.
Hell yeah. With me, I like that and The Devil's Rejects.
That one was good, but it still comes second to me. I like The Devil's Rejects, but it's still not as good as House of the Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
Sid Haig. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was like, Sid Haig was a horror like legend. That is one of the dudes. Like, if I could have met anyone, like if I were Sid Haig, I probably would have like been like anxious.
I did meet Sid Haig at once, and he was so sweet. He was the sweetest little old man I ever met in my whole life. He was so kind. I met him at Days of the Dead, Chicago, in like 2012 or something like that. I met him and Bill Moseley, and I got a picture. I got a picture with Bill Moseley, but Sid was not feeling great, and he wasn't taking photos, so I didn't get one with him. But really great people. Really great people.
Oh, yeah.
Another movie. I love weird movies. I love like Jim Henson movies, like Mirror Mask, and I love like Pan's Labyrinth. I don't think that's Jim Henson. I don't know. It might be. I can't remember. But I love like The Dark Crystal. That was one of my favorites growing up. I don't know if you ever got down on The Dark Crystal, but
yeah, that was my childhood. That's my other favorite singer of all time. I love David Bowie.
Okay. The Labyrinth. Yeah, The Labyrinth was good. But I'm trying to think. Like, it's crazy because like I don't get down on a lot of movies anymore. I used to like watch a lot more. The Exorcist. I love The Exorcist. Probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Just a classic. And I've always liked like spooky horror, but lately horror movies aren't my jam anymore. Like I feel like they've gotten different, and like I feel like I wish I liked them more. I also haven't.
I've always been picky with horror movies. Like I've come across a few that are good, and then some I'm like, but the real horror movies that scare me the most are the ones that are based off true events or inspired by true events.
Oh yeah, me too. I love that. Like Amityville Horror was always like a good one that I enjoyed. I always liked like remember like the Blair Witch Project and The Ring. I love The Ring. And like just anything that was really like dark and scary and like kind of fucked with your imagination a little bit. One like the Insidious, that's kind of a newer one. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting old, but Insidious is a newer one that I enjoyed because it was more of like the psychological realm and like kind of spirit world. It's like just trippy. I like that.
Oh yeah, that movie scared the shit out of me when I first seen it. Because when I watched it, I was like pissed drunk. So I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yes, no, that's a really good one. And you know, I like I like movies like Evil Dead. I like big camp like movies. I'm not big on like Michael Myers and Jason movies. Those were never really my favorite. They're all right, but just I always liked like Freddy Krueger more because he was more flamboyant, more like outrageous, and like Chucky, like Child's Play, like you know, it's just outrageous, and that's what I like. And then I also love I just like kind of like quirky shit. I don't know, quirky, weird shit.
Oh yeah, and what are top probably like your top favorite like shows of all time?
Like TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a lot of cartoons.
Oh, nothing's wrong with that. I still
Yeah,
love me some cartoons.
bro, I'm a big cartoon nerd. You know what I mean? But like Beavis and Butthead, Ren and Stimpy, like Rugrats. I was a huge Rugrats mark. I love like Ed and Eddie.
Hell yeah, that was
Cat,
my show too.
yeah, Cat Dog, Powerpuff Girls. I love me some Powerpuff Girls. I can watch that show all the time.
Same.
So good. I love remember like Dexter's Laboratory and like all those Cartoon Network like shits back then. And let's see, what else do I like? It's kind of hard being put on the spot like for stuff like that, but oh, I love like some of the Netflix stuff that they have out now, you know, like Ozark comes to mind. I really liked Ozark. I really like Breaking Bad was dope. Like anything with a really good plot and storyline I'm into. I loved like Desperate Housewives when it came out. I don't know if you ever got down on some Desperate Housewives, but
I
that
do
shit is
remember
dope.
watching a little bit of it.
Yeah. Like I watched all 6 seasons a couple times through. I love Trailer Park Boys. Shout out to Trailer Park Boys. That's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Another great one. I love comedy. You know, I love comedy and just like anything good. I don't know. I like to laugh when I watch TV, and I like for it to be like an enjoyable time. If it's a story that's gonna keep me enthralled, I'll watch that shit.
Hell yeah!
But
And
again,
I used to grow
I
up.
don't watch a whole lot
I used to-
anymore.
Yeah, growing up, I used to even watch like a lot of the classic Hanna-Barbera shows, like the original Scooby-Doo, the Flintstones. And shit.
Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. Love that old school flavor. Looney Tunes. I was a big Looney Tunes fan too. I don't know about you, but I'll still for a guilty pleasure put on some Looney Tunes here and there.
Oh, I still will. I'll still watch Tom and Jerry. I don't care.
Oh, I took my kid to see the new Tom and Jerry movie, actually. He fucking loved it.
Was it
good.
funny?
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was really well done, honestly. Like there's a lot of ways that they could have taken it. And I felt like the direction they took it was good. It was solid.
Nice. I still need to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's silly. It's definitely for kids, you know, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole thing.
Hell yeah. And then what are some of like your favorite cities that you've like visited, or what's like a city that you've been to that you can like tell people when you go to this city you have to like try this restaurant?
Yeah, dude. So gosh, let's see. Obviously Denver like has a very special place in my heart. Like I lived there for 6 years and it was a crazy 6 years. I love it so much. So Denver all day. But then I got to shout out Des Moines. I got to shout out Boston. I got to shout out, like, I like Florida a lot. I had a really good time in St. Petersburg when we went down there for Juggalo weekend. And like New Orleans was really dope as well. Like I love that I've traveled so much specifically for Juggalo reasons. Chicago. I love fucking Chicago, and I live very close. I live probably 2.5, 3 hours to Chicago, as far as driving. So I've been there a lot. I have a lot of favorites there, but I want to see more places, to be honest.
Yeah, St. Pete is a very nice place. I'm only like an hour away from there.
Yeah, it was really dope. I really enjoyed that city.
Clearwater's a nice city in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to visit Florida. I have an aunt that lives there, and I keep meaning to like go visit her and like try to stop and see some homies, but priorities.
Well, if you ever do, just let me and the missus know and we'll come hang out.
Hell yeah, we'll go get some food. I'm down.
Oh yeah, we'll take you to some really good vegan places that we know down here.
Fuck yeah. Bet. I'm holding you to that.
Oh, definitely. And like before we let you go, do you like have any shout outs, and do you want to like plug anything?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, shout out to Chapter 17 and Ouija Mac. They got their last show of their tour, the Ouija Knievel tour tonight. So big love and congratulations to them on another fucking successful tour. Those guys don't stop. Big shout out to those guys and much love to all them. I want to shout out my girl Illegal. She just dropped her new shit. She just revealed that she is now a DJ who goes by Wraithy. And she's making ICP mixes on SoundCloud. So go check her out. That's WR8THY. Wraithy is how it's pronounced. Okay. So check that shit out. Go support my girl. She's been fucking down with the clown forever. One of my first Juggalette homies. So show her love. I want to shout out Nick Bazaar, my friend. He's in the hospital tonight and he got bit by a spider. And I just want to send love and good vibes to Nick Bazaar because that shit sucks. I guess he got bit by a brown recluse. And so yeah, I just want to shout him out real quick and send love that way. If you know Nick Bazaar, go show him some love.
I do.
Cool. Yeah. Juggalesque will be performing at the gathering. I'm not going to give away too many details, but Juggalesque will be fucking putting on a show. All right. So make sure you catch that. I will also be performing. Not only am I performing, I am performing to my own music, which I will say, yeah, well, we'll see. It's purely speculation what music and what song I will be performing. But I will be performing to my own music, which is a flex, never been done, not only in the Juggalo world, but it's rarely done in the burlesque world. So fucking shout out to me for that because I'm excited and I'm really proud and I can't wait for you guys to see that show. So Juggalesque at the gathering. Go stream Hatchet Girl, the image that you just showed. That is my debut EP. I'm really proud of it. It's produced by Devereaux and Elevated Focusion, who Elevated Focusion is a producer that I met. And if it weren't for him, Hatchet Girl would have never happened. He believed in me. He saw my spoken word poetry. He saw my rhymes online. He hit me up and wanted to work together, and I fell in love with his beats. And because of that collaboration, Hatchet Girl exists. And he is also dropping his first debut album, and it will have 2 songs with me on that bitch. So that drops in June. His first, our first collaboration is dropping May 19th, and that will be called Psychodelicate. And then we also have a song, the intro song to his album, Elevation, that has me on it as well. So check out Elevated Fusion. If you like my music, you can thank him for believing in a juggalette. All right, fucking much love to that guy. Also, I have a new single dropping, and my new single I am premiering Saturday with Team MUJ. Actually, all three of these songs will be premiering on Team MUJ's show, Wicked Weekly Web Show on Saturday. So at 7 o'clock, be sure to tune in then. My new single is called Black Widow. That is information that has not been released yet. So I would like to announce that Black Widow is going to be dropping on May 12th. So that's when it's scheduled. If everything goes according to plan, May 12th, Black Widow by Brigid Bites is dropping. And I'm really, really, really proud of this song. Like, this single is the shit. Like, I can't wait for motherfuckers to hear it. It's something that I don't think I've ever heard anything like it before, but it's so me. It's my best song to date, and I'm really, really excited to share it. So, Black Widow. And if you want to hear all three of these songs, Saturday, Wicked Weekly Web Show with Team MUJ. Check it out. Be there. And I think that's it. That's all I have to promote and to talk to you about. But I had to get all of that shit off my chest.
Hell yeah. And you are always welcome back on the show anytime. If you ever want to come on and promote anything, just let me know and I'll book a spot for you, because Don Chaos has major love for Juggalesque.
Thank you, Don. And anytime that you want to have me, I also, I would love to come back on anytime, and just hit me up and let me know. Next time, I have a release, or if you just need a guest, like, hit me up.
Oh yeah, or if you and all the girls want to come on, just let me know.
Oh, that'd be dope. That would be dope to get like a group of us, like on the shits. That would be fresh. I would love that.
Yeah, we're trying to get me to host something at the gathering, but I don't know what I would host. Everyone's trying to come up with ideas.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, I'll put that energy out there. I'd love to see that. I hope that works out. Either way, I'm stoked to see you. I hope we can get a hug and a selfie while we're there. I know it's hard to see everybody, but hopefully we'll run into each other.
Oh yeah, you definitely have a good night.
Thanks, man. Thanks so much for having me, and I hope you have a great night too. So much love to everybody in the chat that showed up, and yeah, we'll talk soon. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Oh yeah. And that was Brigid Bites, y'all. Oh yeah. Thank you, Brigid, for coming on the show. Very awesome. And we are going to take a music break. So tonight we are going to play a song that actually dropped today. Today, actually on May the 4th. So we're going to take a music break. You guys are going to hear this song that just dropped today by my boy, Jay Bazaar. Lady Chaos will probably just be joining us on here in a little bit to talk about the topics. And yeah. If anyone's wondering why my eyes look all like this, it's because I'm very sleep deprived right now. Lady Chaos could tell you that Don Chaos, your boy, is always working on something. You guys know this, and I appreciate every single one of you. So yeah, we're going to take a music break, so we'll be right back, y'all, after these music breaks on the Hours of Chaos podcast. And check out this song from my boy, Jay Bazaar, that he dropped today called Feel the Heat.
Temperatures climbing up. Globally, we don't know what to expect. Got some ideas. What to expect. When it's bad enough, get mad as fuck and punch walls like what the fuck. Keep on messing up. Can keep a grip on the plus. That negative gon' keep on keeping on, but we never crush. We gonna fluster. Give it up. Get plenty stress on this route, we never rest. Put some whistle beats on to hear me speak of the mess. I like to turn the heat up and add the spice to the recipe. I put that something dark inside the lyrics like a medicine. Was born this all, it's not gonna shake it and not gonna play the victim. Not gonna be all sad, there's no finish. A fucking lyricist, speak on what I'm feeling and living. This place so vacant once the temperature everywhere just raised. You can feel it like you're laying in the field with no shoes and no grave. Carbon I see you trapped in a wave, and mentally like you the only fish in the sea. The heat's on the way, I can feel the heat, see the flash as I pass the street. Another tragedy, crime scenes, it might be my peak. Look at how bad it is, hate crimes, how can it be? Like we learned nothing from the past, stuck and repeat. I can feel the heat, see the flash as I pass the street. Another tragedy, crime scenes, it might be my peak. Look at how bad it is, hate crimes, how can it be? Like we learned nothing from the past, stuck and repeat. I got this mental taste, mental rage, bathing in shavings, everything ablaze, burning up, no turning away. We make it shake like an airplane, turbulent danger, make a scene on satellite, now take a seat for display. I'm take shit off, trying to be involved, fitting into the stars, make records and venture. Get on everything on the stage, and I'm talking to the whole globe. Looking up there every night, I find that there's some fallacies. Looking right back at me, a satellites are reality. Born inside this temple that's mental and pure insanity. We can't advance and aim for the planets if we can barely see. Put that cover back on your eyes. If you really that scared to die, temperature been up and stuck on the rise. Gotta speak my mind, in it, everything I'm around. It's hard to see the bigger picture when you're deep underground. I can feel the heat, see the flash as I pass the street. Another crime scenes, that it is. Hate crimes, how can it be? Like we learned nothing from the past. Repeat, feel the heat, the flash as pass the street. Another tragedy, crime scenes, it might be my peak. Look at how bad it is. Hate crimes, how can it be? Like we learned nothing from the past. Stuck and repeat, feel the heat. Can you feel the heat? J Bazaar. I can feel the heat. Can you feel the heat?
Girl, take it. Public. With the UA blemish patch.
Jaggalo. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo. My name is blood, like, what the fuck? No, what the fuck? I'm like, yo. Never gave a fuck. Walking, what the fuck? Looking like a what the fuck? See me, they like what the fuck? Fuck. I'm a walking what the fuck? That boy mad as fuck. Life will always up. Run that money up. I'm like what the fuck? Don't know what the what the fuck? Homie, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah. Write my name in blood, like what the fuck? What the fuck? Fucking homie, fuck 'em. Never gave a fuck. And what the fuck?
I just don't fucking get it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
What's cool about that?
I don't mean it. It's like fucking.
He looks like a fucking hoe.
Why you on my nuts? Cause you give a fuck. I'm like, yo. Tattoos and some scars. Card, like what the fuck? That other. Fuck. This shit coming up the trunk. Juggalo as fuck. Yo, bitch wanna fuck. So you mad as fuck. Like what the fuck? Don't walking. Homie, what the fuck? Write my name in your blood. Don't know but give a fuck. Walking what the fuck?
I buy this. I get them up. I do one simple to show you. Online.
I've been on some new shit, and I'm looking at the world, and I'm feeling like we losing. Lady, I've been moving, about to catch another dub. Show these fuckers how we do it. Smoke with me if you wanna roll with me. If you wanna go, homie, we can get high. So cold with it, like we toe to toe with it. Mama raised no quitter, gotta get mine. And I ain't on some bullshit. Late nights, stay hyped, like we really about to do it. And I've been making music for the juggalos, the ones that be fucking with the movement. Blood, sweat, and tears in this, put so many years in it. Empty wallets, pockets swollen, rolling over, still a kid. Know that we gon' kill the shit, fortress, we been building it. Learning how to steer the ship to fear, make no appearances. Been awake, still a dream, been ashamed, still a breathe. Never fade, always be, never fake, always team. Sorry sir, pardon me, fire burns, water steams. On this earth, feel the breeze, question in the air we breathe. We ain't stressing, we teaching another lesson. Stay moving with the progression, the destination, stay moving. Keep them guessing, no need to be so aggressive. Just manifest the objective, presenting them with the new shit. I've been on some new shit, and I'm looking at the world, and I'm feeling like we losing. Lady, I've been moving, about to catch another dub. Show these fuckers how we do it. Smoke with me if you wanna roll with me. If you wanna go, homie, we can get high. So cold with it, like we toe to toe with it. Mama raised no quitter, gotta get mine.
Y'all ain't fucking with the new shit. Talk about won't do shit. Mobbing think the crew think I'm punching like a pool stick. If you slit, I'm a motherfucking new shit. They useless. You can see, bitch, he really do this. Slowing on them trees, green as moon mist. High as the moon is. Fuck around and all you hear is boom, bitch. We put you in the tomb quick. Sorry you can't find a medic. Said it's shot straight at your stomach like you was a diabetic. Try and let him marinate. Now you can stare and hate. Blowing on this carrot cake, yo bitch, we finna serenade. She ain't coming back, this ain't no Agent Smith. This ain't no ancient myth. Let me show you fuckers who you raging with. North Carolina, back to Fly City, my city. They gon' ride with me, get high with me, die with me. So tell me, are you riding or what? Slide in the cut and we gon' fire it up.
I've been on some new shit, and I'm looking at the world, and I'm feeling like we losing. Lady, I've been moving, about to catch another dub. Show these fuckers how we do it. Smoke with me if you wanna blow with me. If you wanna go, homie, we can get high. So cold with it, like we toe to toe with it. Mama raised no quitter, gotta get mine.
I'm a motherfucking winner, born sinner. Pussy rappers is my dinner. Project boy in Wicked Wood, and we up to no good. Boy, you should think twice while crossing. I'm the boss, and I take no losses. Send these shots right at your chest, cause you so thin like dinner floss. Want the born out. This go caution, cause we back up with that new shit, rolling with a couple killers, but I bet you they won't do shit. Check the blueprint, yeah, we do it. Fuck your people, best to cool it. We the dopest, but you knew it. Peaceful geek, that's how we do the shit.
I'm on the new shit. I'm already at 22. I've been so far ahead. I don't know what else to do. I had a lady, she was semi-crazy. Had to let her go, let her know that one hoe would never ever stop a show. We was poor, we was in the dirt, had no light, no water. I grew up 2 Sunday daughters, so I had to hustle harder. NEW, I trouble you. I ain't had no job, just created new shit. I didn't have to go and rob.
I've been on some new shit, and I'm looking at the world, and I'm feeling like we losing. Lady, I've been moving, about to catch another dub. Show these fuckers how we do it. Smoke with me if you wanna blow with me. If you wanna go, homie, we can get high. So cold with it, like we toe to toe with it. Mama raised no quitter, gotta get mine.
We on that new shit, we rushing, shredding. Don't be forgetting, been a long time coming. Now we coming to get it. We've been the same and remain. We never counted the cost, whether we win again or if we suffer the loss. Heavy scheming on the future, rushing at us, coming fast in a war against time. There's no chance to save your ass. Well, you got when trying to pull up all your roots when they've grown into the street. Hard to shut your holds around your hard grips tightly. Or hardens, keep it moving. And keep them coming, keep on proving. Reputation we've been building, keep it humble, never ruin. Expectation is for excellence, our words fire accelerants. Never fade, here to stay until the simulation ends.
And we are back. So yeah, time after time. If you are lost and you can find it. Oh shit! What is up, everyone? Oh shit! Is that? So yeah, welcome back to the Hours of Chaos podcast. This is episode 214. Once again, happy May the 4th. You guys know May the 4th be with you. And then tomorrow is Revenge of the 5th. So yeah. Shouts to my dude Jay Bazaar who dropped that track today. Shouts to my dude Ouija, everyone in the Chapter 17 crew. Shouts to my dudes Wicked Wood. Yeah. So yes, I saw your comment earlier, Relic. You were saying who's do I think the third artist being signed to Chapter 17 is? I have my hunches. I think it's either, let's see, it's either going to be Darby. It might be Shaggy the Airhead. It might even be my boy Strife. Who knows? You guys will just have to wait and see. And the time's right. So yeah. Hopefully, me and the missus can make it to the gathering this year. We'd really love to. Yeah, Golden BSB might even be a good fit. Maybe even Ricky Hill. Who knows? Maybe Baby E. I know Baby E used to be on Young Money. You know who would be a very good pick, and I'm amazed he hasn't done a track with Ouija, is Cassie. Remember? He used to be on Young Money. I don't know if he still is. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. You guys know I appreciate it. You know, I've been doing this show for 6 years. It's still hard to believe that, you know, this show's been going strong for 6 years. So yeah, 6 years of doing this show, still going strong. Ain't going away anytime soon. Ain't going away ever. You know, also been doing this for 10 years. Yeah, Jay Bazaar's really dope. Relic, definitely check out past episodes where I've had him on the show. If you guys actually go on my channel, I actually recorded Jay Bazaar's set form at the gathering in 2021. Oh yeah, Clockwork E is dope. That's someone I really want to get on the show. That'd be dope. Yeah, who do you guys actually want to see on the Hours of Chaos podcast? Who do you think would be really dope? Who do you think we can make happen to be here on the show? Yeah, let's get into some topics. Oh yeah. Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. So oh yeah, definitely have them hit me up. Relic, definitely have them hit me up. Like, not only do I make this possible, you know, a lot of you guys make this show possible. You guys are literally Team Chaos, the Chaos crew, the Cults of Chaos. So you guys are also like the promo team for your boy. I don't just make this show possible. Everything and all the stuff I do here and the content I put out, you guys make this possible because, hell yeah. So yeah, let's get into a few topics of the night. Oh yeah. So yeah, let's pull up some topics. Like, here's some Fago news for you guys. Apparently, Firework, Fago, and Kandi are finally coming in the product cans, which is dope. So, if anyone knows of where Fago is selling like Firework and cotton candy in the can, just let me know. Like, cotton candy is obviously one of my favorite flavors of Fago, obviously. Your boy loves him some cotton candy. Thank you, babe. Yeah, if there was ever, since there's a Miss Juggalette, don't at the gathering they have something called Mr. Juggalo? I'm just wondering. If they have Miss Juggalette at the gathering, don't they have Mr. Juggalo? I don't remember. Yeah. Let's get into some other topics. Of course, you guys know one of my other favorite MCs of all time, Ill Bill, dropped an album called Illy Bill. Yeah, Ill Bill is always dope. I love Ill Bill. One of my favorite all-time Ill Bill songs is Cult Leader. That's one of my favorite Ill Bill songs. You guys know this show is dedicated to the Juggalo community, underground community, all that going happy job. As you know, use that hashtag underground unity, hashtag underground united, hashtag in Dawn we trust, hashtag cult of chaos, chaos crew. And yeah, make sure you peep the links down in the description to our guest, Brigid Bites. Make sure you follow her on all social media. Make sure you follow Juggalist on all social medias as well. Links down to the Dawn Chaos official store. Also, it's where you can get your official Dawn Chaos and Carnival Spirits drip. So some of the first Dawn Chaos drip has landed in people's hands. So again, if you guys get yourself some Dawn Chaos drip, send your boy some pics and I will make a slideshow either here for YouTube or something. Also, there's a show going on called Hated in Houston 3. It's live performances by Razakal and the Slice Girls. Of course, Team Trash, The White Noise, Doughboy Jig, Necro Clown, The Terrible Texan, X Dora. Sorry. Yeah, that seems like a very good lineup. Also coming out down here in Florida, there's a show called Hellscape 3. And my boy and y'all's boy, the one and only Darby O'Trill, is headlining this show. And it's going down May 13th at 9 p.m. And it's tickets online are $10 or $15 at the door. And it's at the MB Warehouse, which is in North Miami Beach, Florida. So if this is a good reason for your boy to go visit Miami for the first time, who knows? Maybe I'll go here. Miami's like, what, 4-hour drive, babe? Yeah, basically, where I live, I live right in between Tampa and Orlando. I'm near St. Pete. I'm near Clearwater. I'm 4 hours away from Miami. Almost an hour away or half an hour away to Daytona, which is nice. Again, shouts to my boy Acetone. Shouts to my bro Strife. Also, Hex has recently wrapped up his newest project, so excited. I think he's looking for features for this album, or he's in the ending stages of this album. I believe he's just looking for features on that album. Who do you guys want to see Hex work with? And then tomorrow, or officially at midnight Eastern Standard Time, Shaggy 2 Dope is going to drop his first single off his up-and-coming EP, and the track is going to be titled Illuminati Don't Let Me. So I will definitely, me and the missus will definitely be doing a reaction to this track and sharing our thoughts on it. So keep an eye for that. For the reactions, you know. Yeah, I love Adult Swim. Adult Swim is one of my favorite. I love Adult Swim. Like, I grew up like on a lot of like classic Adult Swim. Pull that up. Again, if you guys are watching exclusively on Carnival Spirits, the super chats are welcome. Again, thank you to Brigid Bites for coming on the show. Yeah, I'll get to your question, Relic. All right. Relic asks, Don Chaos, I love Adult Swim. What Adult Swim shows do you like? Well, I grew up on Space Coast. I grew up on that. I grew up on Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. You know, Rack. You know, I grew up on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. You know, I still love Robot Chicken. I love Squidbillies. I love the Boondocks. I love a lot of the anime that plays on Adult Swim. Yeah. Those are some of my favorite Adult Swim shows. Yes, get the honeys, G. Yeah, I just love classic Adult Swim, you know. Hung Movies is classic. Moral Oral is a classic Adult Swim show. That show is fucked up, though, but it's so funny. Now the show is going good and strong, you know. I'd like to thank everyone who has always tuned into this show, whether you're tuning in live or even if you watch the replay. Thank you. It's very appreciated. And I know I look like I'm sleep deprived, but it's because Lady Chaos would tell you your boy is constantly working on something. Always working to put out content for you guys. Because I have a love and passion for this underground jungle community. Oh, yeah. So yeah, unless there's anything else you guys want to touch on. I think Humble Among was in the chat earlier. Relic, I think I saw him in the chat earlier. Yeah, we really have an appreciation for the culture. You know, there's a lot of people that do this for the clout. You know, a lot of us here don't do that for the clout. There's a lot of us who just love and want to preserve this culture. You know, I've been in this whole community since I was about 8 or 9. I'll be 33 in August, so it's been quite a long time. You know, the magic is still there. You know, there are people saying that the magic is not there, and like me and Brigid said, the magic still is there. You just gotta look. The magic is still there in the music, you know, and if you're letting all the bad juggalos outweigh the good ones, then we don't know what to tell you. The good juggalos should outweigh the bad ones. Just because there's bad apples in every bunch. People got to remember that. But we're still one of the very few left subcultures in the world right now, in the country. You know, we all come from different diversities, backgrounds. You know, we have our morals. I was, what do you mean? He was. Don't you mean is? Yeah. Hell yeah. And you guys can, if you guys saw the trailer for the upcoming schedule on the Hours of Chaos podcast, you know, Jess is going to be joining us, aka the Queen. She's going to be joining us next Thursday. So that is another Hours of Chaos podcast that you guys don't want to miss. Then again, every Hours of Chaos podcast you don't want to miss. You know, I put in a lot of work. I like booking a lot of these guests. And the whole point of why I started the show, because I have a love for the culture and the community, and I like to promote people that deserve that recognition. Whether it's artists, you know, juggalos that are doing stuff in the scene, like what Brigid does with Juggalesque, I support that. You know, juggalos who have their own clothing company or that have their own businesses, you know. I want to promote people and help them get their word out there. Oh, okay. He was, okay. Spec One, what is good, my brother? How you doing? Spec One, y'all, of GRE in the chat. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, Lady Chaos is actually going to be co-hosting that episode with me next Thursday, because Lady Chaos and Jess, they have a little announcement of something that they are gonna be working on, creating, you might say. You guys are gonna love it, and they are gonna announce that exclusively on the Hours of Chaos podcast next Thursday. So keep your eyes peeled, y'all, and your third eye open. Shouts to Spec One, you know, we all about that underground unity, underground united here. And a lot of the people we have on the show are all about that unity and underground united. Yeah, I almost forgot about that she was from Iowa. She used to, like she said, live here in Denver. Not here in Denver. I don't live in Denver anymore. You know what I mean. She used to live in Denver. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, this was a very great show. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Like I said, to anyone, when you tune in live, thank you. Whether you're watching this live, thank you. Whether you're tuning in to watch the replay, thank you. Or you're watching past episodes of the Hours of Chaos podcast, thank you. I know when people always have come up to me in person, people will always tell me thank you. And I'll always tell you guys, you're welcome. But then I'll be like, no, thank you. Thank you. Did not know that. Did not know that. Not only I'm down here in the swamps now. I'm down here in the swamps with Darby and Dev in Florida. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. You guys are awesome. Again, keep the links to our guests down below. Get yourself some Dawn Chaos drip. Go get yourself some Dawn Chaos drip. Help support your boy. It's very appreciative. And yeah, you guys already know who I am. I am Mr. D to the O to the N to the C to the H to the A to the O to the S, your friendly neighborhood JGGALO, the Karma Millionaire. If you don't know, now you know. And if you still don't know, then chat, let them hear it. And if they still don't know, now you know what the fuck going on, Terry.